Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Tonight I have a fun one-sheet wonder to show you. We are going to create one card with one 6x6 sheet of designer series paper. We're going to bring in a couple other sheets just to add some elements to the card, but one sheet will create just about the whole card. You're going to need a little bit more. But the card is a very cool, different kind of fold. I call it a center flip fold, and you'll know why once we create the card. So let's change the camera and get started. Okay, so this month my Stamp Camp at Home Card Club kit features this gorgeous All About Autumn designer series paper. It is gorgeous. Now it is a specialty paper, which means that one side of the print has that foiling on it and the other, in my book, is like a photograph. It is just gorgeous. So I'm going to be using the majority of this sheet to create our card. I'm going to add in a little bit of this element to it, and then we're going to use about a half a sheet of this. So it does take a little bit more than your typical 6x6, but you are going to love it. So let's change the, oh, I already changed the camera. I'm so excited to show you this card that I totally forgot what I'm doing here. So this is the piece we're going to be using. Now for my Stamp Camp at Home Card Club, club members do not need the coordinating autumn leaves bundle, but if they want their sentiments and the die cuts to be identical to mine, then they're going to want to purchase the bundle. They also are receiving the full pack of the speckled gems and a full spool of the linen thread. So you can still get in on my club for this month. If you click under the video, it says show more. Just click on that link and it will bring you to the blog post that will have all the information about my club. So let's start with this piece right here. We're going to first bring it in at 5 1/4 and cut it along the bottom. Now you can save that piece because there's going to be a couple options. You can use that on the card, or you can use some of the other pieces I'm going to cut. We're going to cut this scenery at 2 3/4 and then 2 3/4. Now this is the piece that you might want to use instead of this one. You have your options. So we have two of them that are 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Then I'm going to bring in this piece right here. I never know how this print is supposed to go. It's just a bunch of trees. I think it's supposed to go like this. Again, I'm going to bring it in at 5 1/4. So you could use this piece if you like. And then another 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So if you're going to do double of this card, you would need 2 sheets of that first print and then 1 sheet of this print. So, you know, if you're going to do 1, you might as well do 2. This print right here, we are going to cut this in sections of 2 1/2. Make sure I'm doing this one right. Yep, 2 1/2. So this sheet here, you can do your 2 cards out of 1 sheet as well. So 2 1/2 by 1 1/2. 2 1/2 by 1 1/2. 2 1/2 by 1 1/2, and I have an extra left over, so I have 3 of these. All right, so our card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score this at 3 inches, 4 1/4, and at 5 1/2. And that's all your scoring that you're going to do. Now, again, I said this is going to be a center panel flip card. So we're going to fold on those score lines. So this is the first one at your 3 inches. Then we're going to fold back. And you want to make sure that you burnish those score lines really, really well. So when it's done, you should have like a W, just like that, with this fold in the middle. Your card front is going to be 3 inches by 5 1/4. So it's still going to fit in a regular size envelope. It's just not going to be quite as wide, but you're going to love this card. Just going to make sure I get those score lines really nicely pressed down. Okay, so for the front, I'm going to use this piece right here. And I can never decide which way I think I like it to go. I'm going to put it like that. So we're just going to attach that. I love this bundle. These prints are just gorgeous. Sad to say, but this designer series paper is out of stock currently. It will be back into the Stampin' Up! Warehouse soon, within the next few weeks, I believe. So make sure that you keep checking the website to see when that comes back. If you want me to email you when it comes back in stock, just let me know and I will make sure that I put you on the list. I want this to go as it was put together. So these pieces are going to go on the inside. So we're just going to center that like so. Flip that. This is going to go on this back portion. So that looks good. All right. So far so good. We're going to decorate the front first here a minute. I took the die and the stamp set from the bundle. It is the Autumn Leaves bundle. I stamped it on Berry Vanilla using the Early Espresso ink. Then I used my die pieces to come in with some of those leaves, and I used the Distressed Gold. Now this is another cardstock that is out at the moment, but it will be coming back in. But you could use, on the inside, I'm going to be using some copper clay. I'm just putting that on there so I know where to position that bigger leaf. Maybe I should do that with this one too. So you could, on the inside, I'm using copper clay. So if you don't want the Distressed Gold, you could go with the copper clay. All right. Put a little adhesive there. That's going to be that little leaf. Like so. Then I'm going to pop this up. I'm out of dimensionals on here, but I'm going to use all these little side pieces. This gives you more bang for your buck. There's nothing wrong with these little pieces. They work just as well. They're just not a pretty shape, but nobody's going to see that. But you will know, but nobody else will know. So I might do a couple more little slivers like so. It should be covered. Such beautiful paper. The card, I love the layout and everything, but this paper is just gorgeous. All right, so we're going to stick that on the front. Then I'm going to take some of that linen thread. Now, if you are a club member, part of the perks of being a club member is you're going to get bonus PDF files using the supplies that you received in your kit, meaning the leftover paper, the leftover gems, and in this case it's the linen thread for some more ideas for you. Now I'm just going to look for the glue dot, and I'm going to stick that right up here in the corner. And then I'm just going to trim these little ends. You can have them match, you can have them not match, whatever you like. And then we're going to come in with these gorgeous speckled dots, gems, does it say? Dots. Dots, gems, they're all the same to me. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now we're going to come to the inside. You're going to cut 3 pieces of coordinating cardstock, meaning it's the same color as your card base. This is Early Espresso, and these 3 are 1 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch. And you're going to put 1 in the center on the top of the flap, and then you're going to put 2 behind the flap. When you attach these, you want to go right to the score line, but not on the score line, because you want them to be able to flip. And you want them to have a little bit of space between the sections. So I like to line that up at the top with my paper that I've got stuck in there, and then at the bottom as well. And then that way I'm pretty much covered with my flap spacing in here. You can just see it barely. And then that way I know that's pretty much centered. So I'm going to take this first flap and I'm going to add adhesive only to that side there. And then I'm going to bring this in. I'm to the score line but not on it, and placing that down. All right, just like that. And I'm just going to attach that like that. Now I'm going to flip that over. And we're going to do the same with these tabs. We're going to just do the one end. We're going to place it so I can still see that it's got spacing there. It's not overlapping that first flap. And we're going to put that one down there. And then we're going to put some adhesive on here, and we're going to do the same thing with this bottom flap. Oops. So I need a little bit of space by my score line and right here. And that looks like all 3 are lined up pretty well like that. All right. Make sure that we're not catching. Looks good. All right, so we're gonna, when you open it up, you're gonna have this first flap here. We're gonna take a piece of that Designer Series paper that we cut, and these pieces again were 1.5 by 2.5. We're gonna attach those to those flaps. Now the beauty of videos is that you can fast forward and rewind, because we're gonna put these on those. So I call this a center panel flip. And I'm going to show you, once we get it all assembled, how it flips and how you have a secret message in there. So there's our center panels. These are from the die cut pieces from the Autumn Leaves bundle, and then these are some sentiments that are in there. So this top flap, I'm going to put today and every day, and this middle flap, I'm thankful, and then the bottom flap is going to be for all you do. So I'm just going to stick those all on. I stamped them with the Early Espresso on the Very Vanilla, and then die cut with the die cut that was in the kit. I'm trying to get my head not in and center my panels. Then I die cut some leaves in the copper clay. You don't want to put anything bulky, like I wouldn't put anything dimensionalized, but you can put anything flat, just because of how that card opens and flips. You want to keep everything kind of flat. All right, and then this goes in there. I'm going to take that other leaf, put some adhesive on the back, and then put that there. So today and every day, I'm thankful for all you do. Then the back side, we're going to take a piece of Very Vanilla, This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then we have all these little leftover strips that we have from the sides. So you can either, this is the one that was from this piece right here. So if you wanted to carry that full sheet over, you could bring it over to the side like that and attach that. I think I'm going to do that. This is from the bottom, which if you wanted to, you could cut and attach those to the bottom, however you wanted to do it. You have this piece from that other print that you could put it across the bottom. Whatever you want to do to decorate that back piece, you have those leftover strips. Make sure I get this lined up. Here we go. Close that up. That's going to be on the back side, so you still have plenty of room to write a little note of thanks or appreciation, or you could even stamp one of the other stamps from the set. I know there's like to have a friend, to have you as a friend. There is the with a grateful heart. Okay, so that's the back side. Here's our front. You open the card, I'm thankful, and then flip it all the way open, and you have the sentiment. Isn't that sweet? Love that. So that is pretty much your one sheet wonder for tonight. Something that you can do with 6 by 6 sheets and just a little bit different fun fold. And then again, you have the back side to stamp on, write on, whatever you would like to put in there. So that is your fun fold card, one sheet wonder for tonight. If you need the supplies, click on under the video. You'll see a little part that says show. If you click on that, show more. And I have the list of supplies that I use to create tonight's fun fold, super cute one sheet wonder card. Like I said, the distressed gold as well as that All About Autumn Designer Series paper is on back order at the moment, but when it becomes available, you will be able to order that soon, hopefully. I would say within the next 2 weeks. I would have to check, but I thought it was like October 13 or something like that. So keep checking the website, or like I said, email me and I will send you a notice when it is available. That is it for today. If you are new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell in the upper right hand corner so you always know when I go live. That is it for today. Thanks for stopping by.